It's nobody. I mean, there's sitcoms out there that are getting better ratings, reruns, Big Bang Theory, destroying the kind of numbers Unrivaled is doing right now. Live sporting events getting crushed, right? And of course, the WNBA players have been asking for the moon. And yeah, when you want a 30% revenue share of gross.
The recent developments surrounding the WNBA collective bargaining agreement negotiations have taken an intriguing turn, with Breanna Stewart acknowledging progress after 15 months of stalled discussions. The timing of these comments appears significant, coinciding with the struggling performance of the 3-on-3 basketball venture that Stewart and Nafisa Collier launched together. The alternative basketball competition they established has experienced disappointing viewership metrics, attracting audiences ranging from 40,000 to 70,000 viewers. These figures represent remarkably weak numbers for live sporting content. Classic television reruns, including episodes of popular sitcoms, consistently outperform these broadcasts in terms of audience engagement.
Percent revenue share of gross. You're asking for the moon. When you're asking for a $10.5 million salary cap, you're asking for the moon. It's not realistic. It's a 29-year league with no profit ever. I will continue to contend that they shouldn't have opted out when they did. They should have let the league get that rush, that initial rush of media rights money in, and let the owner.
The situation becomes particularly relevant when examining the demands the Players Association has placed on the negotiating table. Their request for 30% of total gross revenues represents an ambitious target, especially considering the league's financial history. Similarly, the proposed $10.5 million team spending limit seems unrealistic given the organization's track record spanning nearly 3 decades without generating any profitable seasons. Questions arise regarding the strategic timing of when the players chose to reject the previous labor agreement. A stronger approach might have involved allowing the organization to receive the substantial influx of broadcasting rights funding first, permitting team proprietors to experience genuine financial gains for the initial time before beginning these discussions.
Rush of media rights money in, and let the owners bathe in some actual profits for the first time ever before having done this. They jumped the gun. And they're going to, in part, pay the price for it. Oh, but expansion fees, which are one-time fees. That's not, expansion fees are not viable. Residual in continuous income, it's not. They're starting to.
Instead, the premature decision may result in consequences for the playing workforce. The notion that one-time expansion payments can serve as sustainable ongoing revenue streams lacks validity. Such payments represent singular transactions rather than recurring income sources, making them inadequate foundations for long-term financial planning. According to Stewart's recent statements, resolution possibilities are beginning to emerge. However, the messaging suggests recognition that public sentiment has shifted against the players' position.
They're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, according to Breanna Stewart. And frankly, she sounds like they understand they're getting their asses handed to them. In the court of public opinion, forget about it. Forget about it. Fans are like, nah, we're seeing now what you are turning down. We're seeing the fact that you have asked for more money all these years, and you are turning down a CBA deal that's.
Supporters have become increasingly aware of what compensation packages are being declined. The proposed agreement available for acceptance would result in maximum player salaries approaching $2 million annually by the conclusion of the contract period. Yet this opportunity continues to be passed over while requests for additional compensation persist. Basketball enthusiasts possess sufficient understanding to recognize these contradictions. The disconnect between requests for enhanced pay and rejection of substantial offers has not gone unnoticed by the viewing audience. 15 months following the workforce's decision to abandon the existing collective bargaining framework, Stewart informed Front Office Sports that possibilities for concluding these discussions are just becoming visible.
A CBA deal that's laying right there on the floor. Players can walk up and pick it up and be like, oh, wow, by the end of this new CBA, we're making almost a max contract's almost $2 million a year. And it's just laying there to be had. They keep walking by it, yet turning around and being like, we need more money. Fans aren't that dumb. Fans aren't that dumb.
The New York franchise player, who serves simultaneously as co-creator of the competing league and vice president of the players' organization, has advocated for increased revenue distribution to athletes. Earlier discussions this month revealed that while work stoppages remain a theoretical option, no such action appeared immediately forthcoming. An interesting pattern has emerged where multiple athletes from the organization have made public statements presenting varying perspectives on the negotiation status. Different players have suggested everything from imminent work stoppages to optimistic progress reports, raising questions about internal communication and consensus within the group. Stewart acknowledged to reporters that the complexity and scope of these negotiations have proven mentally exhausting.
15 months after the players opted out of the collective bargaining agreement, Breanna Stewart told Front Office Sports that she is, quote, just starting to see a possible resolution to the talks. Interesting. The Liberty Star and unrivaled co-founder is also the vice president of the WNBA Players Union.
She admitted lacking formal education in financial matters, though emphasized the commitment to securing optimal terms while maintaining constructive dialogue with league management. This admission regarding economic expertise becomes noteworthy when considered alongside demands being made of an organization that has never achieved profitability, including requests for 30% of total gross receipts and comparisons to the 4 established major professional sports organizations that generate substantial profits. The absence of background in business finance becomes evident through the proposals themselves. The disparity between player requests and organizational realities suggests a fundamental misunderstanding of the financial landscape. In December, league representatives proposed a framework offering athletes 70% of net profits combined with approximately $5 million team spending limits.
Make it make sense. Which has been pushing for a bigger share of league revenue. Stewart told reporters earlier this month that while WNBA players have the ability to strike, quote, in our back pocket, no strike was imminent. You know what I find odd? Why are all these different players talking and saying different things? Do these players that are in this even know what the hell's going on?
Subsequently, the Players Association countered with their proposal seeking 30% of gross revenues alongside the $10.5 million spending cap. The fundamental disagreement centers on gross versus net revenue calculations. Reasonable compensation tied to actual profitability makes logical sense. This organization cannot be compared to the National Basketball Association, Major League Baseball, or even the National Hockey League, which commands significantly larger broadcasting agreements. League officials have not formally responded to or acknowledged the union's most recent proposal.
Do these players that are in this even know what the hell's going on? For real. They've all got something different. Natasha Cloud, even Sophie, is like, we're headed towards a lockout. She just said that the other day. In a recent interview with Front Office Sports, Stewart said that she had told her wife, quote, my brain is hurting. Mine too. From the range and complexity of the talk.
This silence effectively communicates that the request is considered unrealistic. Media reports indicate the organization believes implementing the union's demands would generate $700 million in losses. When formal responses are withheld, the message becomes clear that proposals are viewed as unserious. During recent appearances in Berlin, the NBA commissioner discussed plans for eventually establishing a European women's basketball organization following the launch of a men's version. This announcement arrived as the struggling alternative domestic league faces uncertain prospects.
Weekend a couple of days ago, and they show love to a fan, man. They show love. Her and her parents greeted the fan. Kaylin even took a picture with the young lady husband. But I'm telling you right now, Caitlin Clark is definitely rebranding, redoing her image. She gotta be, bro. I don't know. I know I've been kind of critical of the Caitlin Clark hype and the Caitlin Clark persona these last couple months, but it was only, I don't know, criticism that was needed, and it looked like
Historical financial losses have characterized the women's professional basketball organization throughout its existence. However, limited access to complete financial documentation from teams and the central office has created friction during labor discussions. Some media outlets have suggested that ownership groups might be concealing revenue, though such accusations lack supporting evidence and appear biased towards supporting player positions. Stewart commented that while European expansion plans sound appealing, considerable groundwork remains necessary domestically. Resolution of the current labor framework and establishment of a compensation model that values athletes while ensuring organizational sustainability must be prioritized before international ventures receive serious consideration.
I don't know, criticism that was needed, and it looked like our criticism did not fall on deaf ears because Caitlin Clark has been outside. Not only has she been outside, she's been doing what I've been wanting her to do, and many of you guys have been wanting her to do for the last 2.5 years, and that is post on social media just a little bit more, Caitlin. That's all we asked for. Was just we wanted a little more. And I'm telling you right now, Caitlin Clark has been giving us a little more. This was just yesterday. She shouted out her good friend, gave her a happy birthday shout out, and this was
The commissioner emphasized that league officials remain prepared to negotiate and reach agreement whenever the players are ready to proceed. The current situation presents an interesting dynamic. Numerous athletes in the organization completed the recent season, earning $100,000. Meanwhile, a proposed agreement offering average salaries 5 times that amount remains available but unsigned. Eventually, role players occupying the 7th or 8th rotation spots who compete for 12 minutes per contest will likely question the wisdom of rejecting an agreement that could result in them earning $500,000 within 2 or 3 seasons of the contract period.
Throwing darts, bruh, in the Indiana Pacers practice facility. Guys, is that an agent? Is that her agent? Oh, no. Oh, wow, I heard it. But guys, I'm telling you this for a reason.
Cracks are appearing in the unified front previously presented by the players. Resolution appears increasingly likely. Based on current trajectory and various factors at play, mid-February seems a reasonable target date for finalization. Specifically, February 15th represents a plausible deadline for when signatures will be applied to a completed agreement. Caitlin Clark has returned to Indianapolis, and her recent activity online has generated significant buzz across social platforms.
But guys, I'm telling you this for a reason. Caitlin Clark is simply helping us. Oh man, she's super duper helping us. Like when you see stuff like this coming from Caitlin, this is great. This is great right here because this is showing us a different side of Caitlin Clark, and she's subliminally telling us she's getting ready for the season. Now, we did hear Breanna Stewart say earlier today to Front Office Sports.
The basketball star appears to be shifting her public presence in exciting ways that fans have been requesting for quite some time. Recent footage shows Clark and her family vacationing in the Bahamas just days ago, where they warmly welcomed supporters. She and her parents greeted admirers, with Caitlin even posing for photos with fans' partners. This marks a noticeable transformation in how the athlete engages with her audience, responding to feedback that had circulated throughout recent months regarding her digital footprint. The criticism seems to have resonated as Clark has dramatically increased her online visibility,
only telling us she's getting ready for the season. Now, we did hear Breanna Stewart say earlier today to Front Office Sports that a deal is on the cuffs of getting done. Now, I know a lot of us, even myself, well, originally I said that I don't believe it's going to be a lockout, and I'm still saying possibly it's not going to be a lockout. I feel like the WNBA was at just a too big of a pivotal moment right now for it to be a lockout. Now, Breanna Stewart came forward and stated that they're on the cuffs of getting a deal done. The needle is moving. Now, how much of that should we?
She's been actively sharing content and connecting with followers in ways many observers had hoped to see over the past couple years. Just yesterday, she posted birthday wishes for a close companion, but the real attention grabber came from different footage entirely. Video emerged showing Clark hurling projectiles at targets within the Indiana Pacers training complex. The clip displays her in athletic attire, clearly maintaining her competitive edge during the off period. While the moment appears lighthearted, it signals serious preparation beneath the surface.
Now, how much of that should we take? I don't know, but I'm taking that not with a grain of salt, but a whole loaf of bread. That's how bad I'm taking that from Breanna Stewart. And just to see Caitlin Clark in the gym, even though she's playing around right here, but she's in practice gear. She's getting ready. And that was a nice ass throw. I ain't gonna lie. She's getting ready for the start of the season, guys. I believe we're gonna have.
The facility access and workout gear suggest focused training ahead of the upcoming campaign. Timing proves interesting given recent league developments. Breanna Stewart spoke with Front Office Sports, indicating negotiations are nearing completion. While some skepticism remains about avoiding a work stoppage, many believe the league currently sits at too crucial a juncture for operations to halt. Stewart's optimistic assessment suggests progress is being made, though caution remains warranted when interpreting such statements.
Have a 2026 season. I believe Caitlin Clark is going to rock the WNBA this season just on the strength of everything that has transpired. Everything that has transpired with Caitlin Clark, only playing a total of 13 games last year. Now she's being able to come back, prove herself, implement herself back to star status, even though I feel like her status never dropped, but it did a little bit, kind of, sort.
Clark's gym presence, even in casual circumstances, demonstrates commitment to readiness. Having participated in only 13 contests during the previous season, she'll look to prove herself once again and reclaim elite performer status. Though her reputation never truly diminished, there's anticipation around watching her return to peak condition and dominant form. Expectations point toward witnessing the version of Clark that dominated during her Iowa years, particularly the explosive scoring performances from the 2022 and 2023 seasons when she shattered records and launched shots from extraordinary distances. That caliber of play would electrify the 2026 season and reinforce her superstar standing.
But it did a little bit, kind of, sort of. But just to implement herself back into top tier level basketball shape is going to be awesome, bro. I feel like we're going to get that 2023 Caitlin Clark at Iowa, bro. That's the one I want to see. And really, I kind of want to see that 22 Caitlin Clark. When she broke the scoring record, I want to see that 2022 light up the scoreboard Caitlin Clark, hitting logo threes from damn near half court. That's the Caitlin Clark I want to see for this 2000.
Clark's strategic content creation serves multiple purposes beyond simple entertainment. Her signature footwear line approaches its debut, poised to generate massive interest upon release. Additionally, head coach Stephanie White has begun planning promotional appearances across various markets. White's schedule includes a stop at an event in St. Louis this April.